Well, I think possibly this might be the October surprise. And if it is, guys, if this is real, wow. That's all I got to say. So stick with me, folks. We've got Benghazi to talk about. Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and I'm going to tell you on this one that I can't verify everything that, I'm going to tell you, but there are some things coming out, and if it is true, we're going to see the documents in the very near future. And it's not just documents, there's video and audio as well. So if this is real, it's huge. I mean, huge, huge. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm going to leave you this page because it's got tons of links on it that you need to investigate if you want to look into this. And essentially what this is, supposedly, is we have a whistleblower who says that he knows for sure that the Obama administration had been holding Bin Laden until a time that they could just, make a big show and production about it, which is right before, he was reelected. And that's when supposedly they got him. But according to this guy that I'll show you in a minute, he says that they actually had Bin Laden. They were keeping him, I believe, in Iran. And, well, they had him in Pakistan at first, and then they took him to Iran or something. And Iran double-crossed him because they took Bin Laden and they took him somewhere else. So then, all of a sudden, the Obama administration is in a bad place because, the Iranians were going, you give us money or we're going to tell everyone that you've been hiding Bin Laden all this time. And when you said, oh, we're just looking for him. So that's kind of the situation. And of course, going along with that has to do with the SEAL team that went in, and instead of dispatching the real Bin Laden, they ended up dispatching a look-alike type person. And so they couldn't they couldn't keep the body around for the DNA part of it. So they had to, that's why they just disposed of the body. They cut it up and kind of tossed it out into the mountains because they wouldn't give a Muslim a water burial because that's just like never done. It's a shameful thing because they have to make sure that they're facing Mecca and all this kind of stuff. And Brennan would have known this because, he was part of it. So naming names, they're talking about Brennan, they're talking about Hillary, and Hillary was running it all. And also the whole Benghazi thing. It's just very, when you start looking into all of this, if you believe what this guy is saying, wow, it gets them. It nails them cold if they have everything they're supposed to. So I'm going to leave the link to this video because this is from the Next News Network. And it pretty much says that they were responsible for executing the SEAL team because they had witnessed something they weren't supposed to. They knew about the imposter, and they knew that, Obama was being bribed. And it also talks about Obama not being the person running it, and that they had the SEAL team already dispatched, and they couldn't recall him. I mean, they were far enough along in the operation, they couldn't recall him. So that's when they told Obama that it was going on. So he didn't know about it. It was like Brennan and Hillary and Biden. Biden was an integral part in this. So anyway, I'm going to leave this. This gives you an overview on this one. And then this guy right here, this is Charles Woods. Now, his son, Ty Woods, was killed in Benghazi. And he was told odd things about it from Obama. And he questioned it, of course, because it just didn't seem to add up. that, you know, the story that they said there wasn't enough time to get any troop deployed to help them out. That was just a big pack of lies. And I think all of us sensed that, because it was crazy to think that we didn't have any troops that could be deployed within, how long did it take? Like several hours. And we couldn't get anybody there in that length of time. It made no sense. And I think pretty much all of us felt the same way when we heard it. It just didn't add up. So he asked questions, and then he met some people that said, this is not what happened. I was there. I witnessed it. Here's what really happened. So it's very interesting to hear his story. The audio on this, though, kind of comes and goes, and there's like another voice at times. So, yeah, I think the people running the audio were kind of talking sometimes. And so, and sometimes his microphone goes off. And so, it's not the greatest, quality when it comes to audio, but you'll get the gist of it. You'll understand what he's talking about. And then, and especially if you watch this one first, you'll know more of the situation. Well, Greg Rubini here has pretty much summed it up. Treason: Hillary Clinton, Obama, Joe Biden, John Brennan, Michael Hayden, CIA Director, Leon Panetta, CIA Director, treason and murder, SEAL Team 6, Benghazi, Iran. So this is, like I said, very eye-opening. Here's a recording. This recording right here is 12 minutes long, and here's the transcript of it. And it doesn't have, actually, it's not all the words that are used, because this guy talks for a while. And this whistleblower guy here, he's kind of an odd bird, if you want to say it that way, and you'll understand why I'm saying that. He's a falconer, okay? He raises and trains falcons, and that got him in with a lot of the high-ups, a lot of the royal family in the Middle Eastern countries, because they like the falcons and stuff. And so he really lived there among all these royals and helping them with their falcons and everything for years. And so he was privy to a lot of inside information from them. And he found out where they were holding Bin Laden, and he contacted the American government and told them, but that's when things started all falling apart and everything. So this doesn't really, it doesn't say too much about it, but you do start getting some of the connections and a little bit. It mentions this Weldon, and then it also mentions this guy, this Brian Ettinger, who is evidently, it says Brian is Joe Biden's closest friend, was his first staff director. So I don't know. From this, it doesn't give me enough information to really understand how Biden fits in. But evidently there are videos, and there's a lot more audio that's going to be coming out. They put this one out just to kind of show people what they had. Supposedly, according to them, what they said is that they have given this information to some media outlets. They have also given it to some congressperson. Well, congressman, they said. And so I don't know who that is. However, I'm kind of wondering if it's Chuck Grassley, because he's, considered the patron saint of whistleblowers. So it could very well be that they felt they could trust him. I'm not sure who it is. They don't really say, but there's a lot out there, and I'm going to show you more about it. Anyway, so again, I'm going to tell you right now, at this point, I don't know if this is accurate, if it is real, okay? Just because I always approach things with a lot of caution. I would need to see more transcripts. I need to hear more audio that would be significant. Because at this point, I can't tell who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and exactly what they're doing. Now, this Weldon, though, I do know about him because I did a video that talked about him of, oh gosh, when was it? Yeah, July 29th of 2019. I did a series of videos on this document by Louie Gohmert, and it's actually housed on Hannity.com is where it is, but it's 48 pages, and it's Louie Gohmert talking about various aspects of Robert Mueller. So there's 8 parts that I did, because I read the whole thing, but I also, with each part, I did a little digging, and so I added more information in there about certain people. But Louie did a really good job putting this information out there. And in the very first one, it's kind of funny. I've done over 700 videos. So sometimes I forget what I've done because, it's a lot of videos. So when I heard the name Curt Weldon, I thought, I know that name. Who's that guy? And then I'm like, I did a video, didn't I? Yeah, I did a video. Right there it is. So this is the video. I'll put the link down below, and it starts at 10:56 is where I start going on the part here. But if you want, you can just read the document itself. I'll make sure I put that down below so you can read it. Yeah, if this is true, and I would trust Louie on this part, Curt Weldon was set up and framed by Robert Mueller. Mueller came in just after 9/11, all right? And Curt Weldon was very well known for talking about 9/11. And so he had a speech here. And he says, back in 1999, when I was chair of the Defense Research Subcommittee, the Army was doing cutting-edge work on a new type of technology to allow us to understand and predict emerging transnational terrorist threats. And so he says that when Bill Clinton was president, he had access. They had this technology, but they didn't use it. They didn't implement it. And so he always believed that 9/11 could have been prevented if they would have used the intelligence abilities, the technology that they had. So that was his thing he was talking about. Well, of course, if he's talking about something about 9/11, there probably was a very good reason that they needed to shut him up. And so I don't know what role he plays in this. He seems to be a go-between between this parrot, who is the guy, who is the whistleblower guy, the falconer, and this Biden representative guy, who I think is a lawyer. So I'll leave the link to this. You might want to watch it. And then here is one of the things that happened. And when Curt Weldon just started crossing the Mueller FBI, guess what happened? Yeah, listen.
Midterm elections, and tonight the FBI has raided the homes of a Pennsylvania congressman's daughter and those of a close friend in the midst of a close fight for re-election. NBC News correspondent Chip Reed with us from Capitol Hill tonight for this latest wrinkle for the Republican Party. Chip, good evening.
Well, good evening, Brian. FBI and federal law enforcement sources say that they are looking into whether Pennsylvania Republican Congressman Curt Weldon used his position as a congressman to help obtain lucrative lobbying contracts for an old friend and for his daughter. Today, the FBI searched 6 locations in that investigation in Philadelphia and in Florida, including Weldon's daughter's home. Weldon denies any wrongdoing, but this could not possibly have come at a worse time for him because he is in the toughest fight for re-election he has ever had. Brian?
Yeah, gee, guess what? The guy had been re-elected by pretty big margins for years and years and years. And then all of a sudden, after he starts talking about 9/11, guess what happens? Yeah, he gets raided by his daughter was raided by the FBI. And the funny thing is, after that, there was no investigation, no grand jury, never asked any questions. The FBI just came in, turned their life upside down, and essentially helped him lose the election. So no, that doesn't sound suspicious at all, does it? No. Anyway, here's his bio if you want to read it. Very interesting though if you go through this, because he was down here, the controversies and the investigation. You're never going to guess who was messing around with the investigation. Our good old ethics friends, crew. Yes, they were around back then, and this was in 2006 when all this was. So, they were trying to accuse him of misusing campaign funds, and there was a conviction of his former aide, but I don't think that had anything to do with him or any of this. So, pretty much ruined the man's life. That's the way it worked. I have this. That is an archive, because this was the report that Crew put out, but you can't download the report because this is an old. Now, I got to tell you, this is the link. If you go down here to the bottom of the page, this is one of the links down here. I got to find it. Where is it at? Okay, when you get to this particular footnote, Crew summary of ethics. Now, remember, Crew is this Media Matters ethics thing. They're their watchdog. It's supposed to be like the Democrat version of Judicial Watch, except they go after people that really aren't guilty. But they make stuff up. And that's kind of what I think they did. Now, if you go here to this link, don't go there, because it will try to sell you condoms and other things. So don't go to that one. Use the archived one that I give you here. But again, if you go here, I mean, this was from 2006. You can't actually get anything, because it's not a functioning page. So you can't download the report. But it does tell, these were all the people that Crew was doing a hit job on, the 20 most corrupt members of Congress. And look how many of them are Republicans. Oh, look, Rick Santorum. Yeah, Roy Blunt. I mean, they're all Republicans. No, here's one Democrat. Yeah, I don't know that guy. Here's another Democrat. And here's another Democrat. Oh, Maxine Waters. Look at that. She's on there. But anyway, so yeah, this Curt Weldon was on here. And here's the article about him. So you can read through here, but you can't actually read the full report. So just thought I'd leave that. But essentially, they're trying to say that he did all these things. He got his daughter a bunch of contracts and things. Again, Louie Gohmert says that he doesn't believe it. That's what happened. He believes that he was set up. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But in the process of looking at this, there was actually another link that took you to this timeline having to do with Trump, the investigation of Trump. So I'm not real sure. He's mentioned here a couple times. Allen Tactical Security Consultants founder Tommy Allen vetted the peace plan at the request of former Congressman Curt Weldon, a longtime friend of Artemenko. Artemenko and Weldon secured funding for promoting the plan from Vexelberg's fund at Columbus Nova. Remember, this is written from a liberal point of view, so it has very little actual truth in it. And so I'm not sure why he was mentioned in here. I think it's just kind of interesting that he was. Anyway, so then Red Pill 78 had this. Now, he's changed his name to Corruption Detector, but that's who he is. And he may have more on this. It seems like he's been looking into it a little bit more. And he talks about Hillary Clinton's fingerprints. They say Hillary Clinton's fingerprints are all over this. And Alan Howard Parrott is the Falconer guy. He's got long hair and everything. When you see him in the videos, you'll get it. Okay. He's just kind of odd looking. But they are trying to say that Hillary was behind this, and between her and Brennan, it was all a big part of it. So I'm going to leave that. And, this one right here, I haven't had a chance to watch this video actually, but it's getting late and I want to get this out there. So this Anna Khait, she has a lot of the info. She's actually where I saw it first. She's an Epoch Times opinion writer and conservative and everything. So she's the one that's actually been breaking this. Let me go to her. I've had different links open throughout the day. And so anyway, she's got several things that she's been talking about. And here's the audio, a link to the audio, the first part of it. And like I said, they do say that there are videos that'll be coming out, but they haven't come out yet. Not sure how you can fact check audio and documents that haven't been released yet. See, that's the thing. This is why I'm putting this disclaimer on there, okay, guys? This still needs to be vetted. And, you can have somebody come on and tell you a story and claim that it's all true, but you just don't know. That's just sick. Thanks, Planned Parenthood. So sick. Oh, these people. And so she's the one that's kind of breaking it. And Facebook has begun fact-checking things they don't know about. And so this Nate Kane has also been doing an awful lot. So there's a lot of his that she's retweeting. And this Nick No is one of the people. This is him. And he's one of the guys that he's used to work with the CIA, I believe. So 3 former CIA directors involved in keeping bin Laden alive in Iran moved him from Iran to Pakistan for Obama's trophy kill. Payments to Iran were related. So, see, when Iran had that information on Obama, that's when they said, you pay us this amount of money or we're going to tell the world that you did this and that you were lying all this time and you were just holding him until you could make it a trophy kill. So it was blackmail, and that's why Obama gave him all that money. So again, it sounds plausible. I'm not saying it's not, but it just seems very interesting. And she also says, if you have a YouTube channel, by the way, she's asking if people can stream the live interviews. She says, go for it. So, she's allowing you to do that. I'm not going to do that with it, but I'm just going to provide you with the links so you can go there yourself. But if you keep scrolling down her feed, you can see, it's just a lot. By the way, that was the rally tonight. I'm recording this on Tuesday night, but yeah, it was pretty amazing. So, it's been such a long day, guys. That's why it's kind of late when I'm doing this, or early, because I spent the whole day watching hearing and actually trying to be a real person too, because I had to go to the grocery store and had to check on my parents. And so it's been a long day, because as soon as I got done with watching all the hearing, then I had to go and, watch the rally and everything. So it has been a very, very full day for me. I'm a little on the tired side. So you can just go through and, I don't know this lady really well. I just, know what she says in her bio. And she's the one that I saw breaking it. So you'll have to come here to check out. And this Nate Kane, again, is another one. So check through them, watch them. There's the videos that I actually gave you. And here's more. Extortion 17 is what they called the SEAL Team 6, where they executed them, essentially. And and here's a live interview too. So, that's the one I just showed you. So anyway, Check through here and see what you got. Again, not all, she doesn't put everything, but she says the transcript of the audio files are coming out now and an explosive one coming soon, where she says that you can hear people. Oh, and she says that there's a certain well-loved general who has commented on this and says it is spot on. But she wouldn't say who the general was. So, just kind of wondering, thinking it's this guy. Because if he knows, if he can verify that this is true, it's huge. I mean, this will take down Hillary Clinton and Obama and Biden. It will. So I think they're going to be leaking it for the next few days. I don't know what all's coming out. I also know that Project Veritas put out a new video today that's from like an Antifa type guy in Colorado who was making threats that he was pretty much going to attack anybody who doesn't think like him after the election if Joe Biden didn't win. So again, go through and check this out. I guess this Science is My Muse is one of the guys who is a whistleblower. And he says, I know the CIA set me up because I know the names of the people in the agency from all their friends. So again, this is it. So I'm leaving it with you so you can go through it on your own. I'm just putting a caveat on there right now that they're still vetting this stuff. But if it is real, it will come out. They were talking about actually delivering the information directly to President Trump. And the parrot guy, the falconer guy, would be a handoff to Trump. And he said he'd be happy to do that if they could work it out. So I don't know that they would be able to do that, but they did confirm that they gave it to a well-placed congressman. And again, we don't know who that is, but a lot of speculation is that it's probably Chuck Grassley. So there you go, folks. I'll leave the links to these down below. There's my whole Gohmert series. If you haven't read that document, I mean, you can read the document for yourself, but if you haven't read the document, you need to. And if you want, like I said, I go through and I read it all, but it's over 7 or 8 parts here because there were so many different sections. And I not only read a part, but I also go through and give you a little bit more on those. So it was a very eye-opening document that Gohmert put out. I'm just sorry more people didn't read it because he pretty much laid the case for Mueller being dirty from the start. So anyway, that's what I've got for you on this one. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.